Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your reading. The title of your reading is called Different But Equal. So number of skips we gotta do. Ooh, 10. This is The Battle of Who Could Care Less by Ben Folds 5. So different but equal, and we're already talking about who could care less. So before I get into it, the stones I was drawn to you for your reading are Carnelian, which is a stone of creativity, courage, confidence, and it's a vibrant motivator. Good choice of words there. The other one is Jade, and this stone is a stone of health, prosperity, and harmony. Again, I always encourage you to do your own research. I know that these have so much more than what I've mentioned, property-wise, but that's what I wanted to touch on for this reading. That's what I got. So again, do your own research. There's definitely more to it, but this is what I was drawn to. So, different but equal. I was holding these while I was meditating, and the first thing that came to mind was opposites attract. So that has to do, with magnets, magnetic, and they can only attract if there's a positive and a negative. That's the only way they can come together. If it's two positives, they literally push themselves away. You can't ever get them together. I actually had this idea to make car bumpers with magnets in them so that they could never actually come together and hit. So if anybody wants to capitalize on that idea, please let me know. You heard it here. So after that, opposites attract. I saw for some reason the King and Queen of Wands. I don't know if it's a masculine or feminine thing. I'm not really sure, but those are the two cards that I saw. So already I'm drawn. I'm going to use this deck, I think, instead of my deck. And then the next thing that came to my mind was they come from the same place. One is hot, one is cold, one is smooth, one is rough. So again, I'm going back to this opposites attract. For some reason, different but equal. So that is the message for your reading. A lot of creativity, courage, confidence, motivation, health, prosperity, harmony, as the underlying themes and tones, but let's give these a shuffle and see what's going on. One is hot, one is cold, one is smooth, one is rough. Different but equal. Maybe it's different paths. So all opposites are equal. And I remember somebody trying to explain this to me, and I was like, how can hot and cold be equal? And she explained to me that if a fire is really hot, it'll burn you. But if something gets too cold, what do you get? What is it called when something's too cold? It's called freezer burnt. Things can get freezer burnt. So even though they're complete opposite ends of the spectrum, the end result is still a burn, ironically. So that's kind of the interesting thought that I had there. And then this came around to me another day. The thing about jumping into cold water, if people who do the polar bear plunge, maybe that's something you need to look up. Go look up polar bear spiritual meaning. The song "Jump Into." While I'm talking about jumping into cold water, "Jump Into" by Slaptop. The thing about cold water, when you dive in, does it burn or does it sting? Because think about jumping into really, really cold water. I'm talking ice cold water. The initial shock, what does your body feel? Yes, it feels cold, but you can't just say it feels cold. I want you to think about what the actual way you would describe it is. Does it burn or does it sting? Or what does it do? So, that's a random thought of the day. Let's see. All right, so we got 3. A few more than that. All right. We have the 5 of Wands, the Tower card, 3 of Hearts, the 3 of Swords, 7 of Swords, and the 10 of Pentacles. So the 5 of Wands is all about conflict, competition. There's a lot of people there. A lot of people that are arguing over something. 5s are all about change. And we have the 5 of Cups on the bottom. And different but equal. So we have spilt cups but in full cups. So conflict, competition, struggle, strife. I feel like okay, so the King and Queen of Wands, I'm feeling this is some kind of relationship. Something having to do with it. And what I want to say, everyone, okay, so I saw this meme going around. This is what just popped in my head. I saw this meme going around. And it's the one that says, marriage is hard, divorce is hard. Working is hard, not working, and struggling to make money is hard. And it comes down to choosing your card, choosing what is hard for you. So what I'm seeing is yes, maybe you're having a conflict, you're in a really, really intense battle, and it involves more than just you. It's maybe you and another person, maybe family's involved. And something is coming, crumbling, tumbling down. The Tower card, again, major arcanas are things that are out of your control. They're things that are just this has to happen. I think in Tower card, if I say the universe keeps trying to get you off a path and you are just stubborn and you don't get off of it, the universe will do something that will force you off of it. And it's unexpected. It's not always a crisis, but generally yes. This is normally a very negative card. But from negative things, you learn positively, hopefully, to move forward. You either win or you learn. Hopefully you're learning. And I think what's happening here is yes, it's an argument. Yes, it's fighting. Yes, it's hard. But when shit crumbles and you're falling together, you kind of realize all right, do I want to live without you in heartbreak? And remember, I almost called this the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is all about celebration, unity, togetherness, camaraderie, but celebration really. Or do you want to have to try and do this on your own? And I think in the end, you're going to choose that you recognize that, having it all looks different to everybody, but the Ten of Pentacles is family legacy. It's long-term wealth success. It's happy wife, happy life. You got dogs, you got a freaking in-law apartment. That's longevity. So I think that maybe you're focusing on a lot of, and I love that the Ten of Cups is right below. Rainbows, happiness, ultimate emotional fulfillment. I feel all the things that you're going through, even though you may seem completely opposite, you are very different people. Opposites attract, yes. And you need, the negatives and the positives to make this kind of solid, stable union. 2 tens, 2 completions. So don't just focus on everything that's going wrong. Don't just focus on your differences. Because differences they cause a lot of arguments. So the next song is called Domingo's Drive. It's by Flamingo. And the first line, actually, I'm going to turn this up because I want you to hear it. Have you ever been to hell? I have. So, it says, I can assure you it's quite unpleasant. So yeah, I'm positive that what you're going through right now is quite unpleasant. But arguments happen so that anything that needs to fall away can. And I think that if you fall together, maybe you're separated right now, maybe you are, maybe you're separated. This is the heartbreak card. This is separation. But this is a breakup to me. This is, he's mourning the loss of a love. His heart is hurt and aching. And maybe somebody's trying to get away with something. And they're realizing, the Seven of Swords is a card of deception. It's a liar, a thief, sneaky kind of behavior. But this guy also looks like he just picked up all the swords he was throwing, all the swords that he threw, and he's carrying them back home. Because he'd rather struggle with the one that he loves than struggle with the pain without them. And I say he, roles can be reversed, it could be she, whatever. But the Two of Cups are all about emotions. Cups are all about emotions. They flow. They change. So if you're angry, don't let your anger govern all your actions. What is it? Don't make decisions when you're angry, and don't make promises when you're happy. So that's when this happens. However, this needs to happen so that this can happen. Couples that don't argue, that's not the best kind of relationship to be in, because I feel like nothing ever gets solved. Opposites attract. You're meant to teach each other different perspectives. And imagine if you had somebody that was always so similar to you all the time, how boring that would be. So I'm sure that whatever challenges you're going through are going to help you to learn and understand something that is probably part of your destiny. It's probably something that you absolutely... Before I shuffle again, the Hangman. This is my diplomacy card, and diplomacy is all about seeing things from a new perspective, a new angle. Maybe you had to lose somebody to realize that that's what you wanted. I don't know. That's what I'm picking up. Opposites attract. Creative courage, confidence, and a vibrant motivator. All right, so we have the Hierophant, which is like traditional law. Maybe what was working before, the way that things had always been, just isn't working anymore. It's become outdated. Or you've just grown as people. And the way that things had always been, because this is very like old law. This is like, the church said so. This is how it is. So the opposite of the Hierophant, like the Hierophant in reverse, is creativity. So this is tradition, structure, order. So maybe, yes, and with the Fool on the bottom. So the Fool on the bottom of the deck, and what's even cooler is the Empress is below that. And I just mentioned the Empress is all about creativity. So in my deck, the Empress is creativity. The opposite of that is compliant, which is the Hierophant. But I think that the traditional way of doing things is coming to an end. The cycle is over. It's a painful ending. But you can't start something new until something else ends. So painful endings breed new beginnings. So take a leap of faith. You don't have to sacrifice yourself. It's okay to be different. Maybe that's what you've been doing. Maybe you've been sacrificing the things that you are to kind of align with somebody, with more of how somebody else is. Like you're trying to match what they're doing, but you're a different person. Different but equal. So one more message, one more card. Venice Queen is playing by Red Hot Chili Peppers. The Hermit. I encourage you to listen to this song. Venice Queen, at least look up the lyrics. Going within and finding a new way to do all the things that you've always been doing. Find a form that's free to roam. Yeah. Come from the same place. Where you come from, where are you going? This is okay. So yeah, moral of the story, Sagittarius, painful endings. Listen to the song Venice Queen. Sagittarius, listen to the song Venice Queen. I think it'll resonate with you if this resonates with you at all, this reading. But it's okay to be a very, very different person than your partner or your friends. But don't morph yourself into them. And if that's what you've been doing for a long time, it's really hard to step out of that cycle. And that might be why this ending is so painful. It's like the death of the person that they knew. But if your entire relationship's a lie, then maybe you were the one that was the Seven of Swords. Remember that deceitful energy? Somebody's heartbroken because they've been dating somebody. They thought that they were dating somebody different this whole time, or they thought that they were with somebody different this whole time. It doesn't mean you're any less you. Different but equal. You're different than the person that maybe they know, but it's still you. Equal. It's still equal to you. So have the courage and confidence to be yourself. Yeah. And I think that's all I got. I'm telling you, listen to Venice Queen. Red Hot Chili Peppers. I double dog dare you. All right. That's all I got for you. Thank you. Bye.